Hello, everyone. This is the Highlander of the Highlander Wrestling Show to all you wrestling fans out there. This video is going to be about wrestling collections, which a lot of people have a lot of big collections. You know, you collect certain things in pro wrestling, you collect a little bit of everything like I do. Pro wrestling has a lot of big, expensive hobbies on some of the things, which I want to kind of give you an idea on some of the collections that, like with me, you have one of my favorite trading cards out there is the Wrestling All-Star trading cards from 1982 to 1983, which I got a pretty good collection here. The very first two that was printed, as far as, and they're the most expensive because for some reason they're harder to get a hold of, but here's one of, everybody knows who this is, Andre the Giant. It even tells you a little thing about him in the back. This is from the 1982. This is trading card. This is Series A, so that makes it, you want to look for that Series A or in the Wrestling All-Star Collection. Here's the second one, and everybody knows who this is. Look at that. Boy, he don't look like that now. He still basically looks the same, but that's the young Hulk Hogan. And this is also a Series A out of the 1982 Wrestling All-Star card, which was one of my favorites. Here's another one of the Intercontinental, one I consider to be one of the great Intercontinental Champions of the World Wrestling Entertainment, Greg the Hammer Valentine. This is actually the Series B of 1982, which it don't matter to me because, I love Greg the Hammer Valentine. And here's another old guy. He was popular in Japan and everything else. This is, I believe, this is 1983 Series A, Tiger Mask. He was a great pro wrestler. Now, here's one a lot of people probably out there probably don't know. This is what he looked like when he was Canadian heavyweight champion. He was also considered Canadian strongman before he had the blonde hair, Dino Bravo. This is from the 1982 Wrestling All-Star Series, Series B. And here's another one that Hogan faced, Andre the Giant's faced, Ric Flair has faced. He's been in the ring with Muhammad Ali. He's a great world heavyweight champion. He's not well known here, but in Japan, Korea, or South Korea, and all that, he's real big name. China, Ontario Inoki. Now, he beat Bob Backlund in 1983, or 82, for that big green world title, which they had to give it back to Bob Backlund because of some odd reason. But anyway, here's another one of another great world heavyweight champion, the AWA world heavyweight champion, Nick Bobwinkle. He was also one of the first Heenan family. Him, and I can't remember who else it was, but he was the first member of the Heenan family. And here's another one, which he sadly was murdered, but Bruiser Brody. Look at that. That's before he had the really, really wild hair. This is one of my favorites. This is from the 1982 Series A, so that's a good one. And here's a good masked wrestler, Mr. Olympic. He was a great wrestler from Japan. He wrestled, I believe, in Japan too, and Mississippi States and the southern regions and everything. And here's another one. He's the very first WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's held the NWA World title, and I believe he held the NWA and WWF World title at the same time, but he lost the title to Bruno Sammartino, the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, the original Nature Boy, the master of the Figure Four, which he beat Ric Flair back in the 70s. with the figure 4 leg lock. It was a great one. This is from the 1983 Series A. So, and here's another great masked wrestler, the grappler. Well, excuse me. That's a good one. That's from the 1983 Wrestling All Star Series A. And here's the man that's was all original. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, Superstar. Excuse me. There wouldn't be no Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Jesse Ventura. They wouldn't be any of those big flamboyant. Even Dusty Rhodes took some of his words and all that. He was a great world heavyweight champion, superstar Billy Graham. This is from the 1983 series of the wrestling. Also, this is a Series A. And here's the Polish Power, Ivan Putski. Which Ivan Putski was a world tag team champion with Tito Santana. This is from the 1982 Series A, so he's a good one to get a hold of. And here's one of the greatest women champions of all time, which they give her a lot of bad name and all that, so I don't really know about all of that, but she, in my opinion, she was one of the greats. The Fabulous Moolah. She was at WrestleMania 1. She's had feuds with Cyndi Lauper, Wendy Richter. She's even been in the ring with Sensational Sherry, which I had a video of her a little bit a couple days ago I put up. Here's another great Intercontinental Champion from the WWF. He was managed by Mr. Fuji, the magnificent Don Morocco. This is from the 1982. This is also a Series A. Here's another great AWA World Champion, Vern Gagne, which, you know, he was a lot of people nowadays probably don't know who he is, but he had a son that wrestled too. He was tag team with Jumpin' Jim Brunzell and all that. And here's another great former World Heavyweight Champion of the WWF and Intercontinental Champion. He's had feuds with Greg Valentine, Don Morocco, and all that. He was a tough customer. Pedro Morales from Puerto Rico. That's a good one to have. This is from the 1982 Series A. And here's, in my opinion, one of the greatest world heavyweight champions of all time. He's held the title longer than anybody else. He was Italian strongman. He was doing things nobody else ever did in the 50s and 60s. Bruno Sammartino, the Italian Stallion. That's a great one to have. I mean, look at that. You can tell that's from the 70s and early 80s. And here's a guy that was on the movie Three Ninjas Kick Back. He feuded with Andre the Giant. He broke Andre the Giant's ankle. He had feuds with Hulk Hogan, the Von Erichs, and all that. He used to bring a spite to the ring, Killer Conga. He was always one of my favorite heels. And here's the mayor. He was in Minnesota, governor of Minnesota, and a great movie star. The one and only, like I was saying before, if it wasn't for Superstar, he wouldn't have been around. Jesse the Body Ventura. Look at that hat and them glasses. I mean, he was cool now. Superstar and all them, they were cool. Jesse Ventura could be the man. And here's another great WWF Intercontinental Champion and former tag team champion with Ivan Putski. He had a lot of feuds with the Macho Man, Greg Valentine, the Steel Cage, Tito Santana, one of my all-time favorites. This is Series B from the 1982 trading cards. And here's another legend of hardcore. He was a legend in Japan, big name. He feuded with some of the greats out there. He was multiple-time world champion. Him and his brother were world famous all over. Terry Funk. Look at that picture. There's a good picture of Terry Funk. Well, that's before Roadhouse when he was in the movie Roadhouse, which I love. Uh, Way before Cactus Jack ever came along. But yeah, that's the Wrestling All Star Trading Card collection. Y'all like to collect wrestling cards, try to get a hold of them, and all that. And here's another good one when you collect wrestling figures. WWE superstars, legends. Here's a good one. This is it's a very expensive one on eBay and all that. So I'm sorry for a lot of people telling them that, but I mean, but this is a good one. I'm glad I went ahead and got it when it came out. But that's Bruiser Brody. He's got his chain, got the little fur boots that he had on there. It's very good detailed if you look at it. Got on the back of it, the other series, that's a good one to always for a collector of wrestling figures. And here's another one WWE don't like to talk about because of what happened and all that. But this bad boy here is one of my favorite. A good friend of mine got me this figure. His YouTube name is Magnum. So here's this bad boy right here. Look at that. Chris Benoit, the Beast Destroyer. Every time he got in the ring with Brock, he whooped him. Chris Benoit was a great Canadian champion. That's a natural WWF figure still in the package. Got in the back of it, all the other ones you can collect. And here's another one I got from Magnum. Oh, still in the package. Superstar Billy Graham with his boa. Just like Hulk Hogan does, back in 2003 and 2002. But they got the green tie-dye psychedelic pants on, and I mean, Superstar just was cool. Didn't have the world title with him though. That's one of the drawbacks I have with it. But yeah, it tells you some more on the back of this one who y'all can collect. I've got the Andre the Giant one, but I didn't bring him out there yet. That's for a second bit. But here's some more figures for y'all to collect if you like LJN stuff, which is very expensive. It can, hard to get a hold of. I don't worry about the whole how they look and everything. But here's one, a Roddy Piper with his kilt. Look at that. That right there is cool right there. That's just like what they had in Piper's Pit, the original. You can actually take the kilt off. He's got the tights on and everything, if anybody's out there wondering. A little bit of humor, like they did to him all the time. But yeah, that's a good Roddy Piper. Here's another one. I don't have the accessory that I wanted with, but I'm going to wind up getting it one day. Look at there. Jake the Snake Robert. It's still in really good condition. And, but yeah, I'd like to get Damien for him, to give it the whole, make the whole thing. But, here is one of a tag team. Like I said, the conditions are not all great, but I don't, I love it. He's one half of the tag team, Davy Boy Smith from the British Bulldogs. I know he's got the wear and tear on him, but I mean, that's kind of gives them the illusion of they were rough and tough. And that was Davy Boy Smith, the British Bulldogs. Here's a great manager from the LJN, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. From what I'm gathering, this is supposed to be the hard one to get because he's got the hearts on the microphone and the little musical notes on the jacket and everything, which I love this one. I always thought Mouth of the South, everybody wanted to choke him when they back in the day, including my dad or my granddad. Oh, here's another governor, another one of the governor. But that was the very first wrestling figure I ever got. It was right here. My mother and grandmother thought this was Hulk Hogan when I was 3 or 4 years old, and I argued them down. Even then, that was not Hulk Hogan. That was Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at it closely, you would mistaken it to be Hulk Hogan. I mean, of course, that's where they get the idea from. But yeah, that was my very first one I got. That was 30-something years ago. And here's the other half of the tag team of the British Bulldogs, his cousin, the one that got Chris Benoit wanting to wrestle, the Dynamite Kid. This here's a little bit in better shape as far as the paint job. Of course, he's pretty, worn. You can tell he's been played with. And here's some more classic wrestlers. Everybody remembers him. He was the Mario from the Mario Brothers show on the cartoon and the live edition. He was on Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun video and Goonies Are Enough. The great Captain Louis Albano, the man who had more tag team champions than any other manager, including Bobby the Brain Heenan and one that's on TV now with Roman Reigns. Paul E. Dangerously.
No, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, which is Paul E. Dangerously. But anyway, I'll get it right here in a minute. I have mind farts out there if anybody wants to know. A little bit of humor. Here's a good figure of Greg the Hammer Valentine. I put the little Intercontinental title on him, as you can see, from Wrestling Superstore. Very good. It's, he's wearing the black tights, which I wanted the one where he's wearing yellow, but that's all right. And here's another one with having the World Heavyweight title like the true World Heavyweight Champion, in my opinion. Bruno Sammartino. I couldn't get over them matches putting the chest hairs on him. And anyway, here's another LJN figure. The true giant that everybody says really wasn't 7'4". They try to say he was 6'11", which is completely bull in my opinion. The man was actually every bit 7'4". I mean, statistically, you look at it. I mean, there ain't gonna be a gigantic difference between him and Hulk Hogan. But here he is, Andre the Giant. I've been wanting this figure for years, and I finally found it at the Wrestling Superstore. I love this one. He's got the long hair, and I also got the one where he's short hair and the black singlet. Here's the other figure of a great Intercontinental Champion, the one I had the card of, the Magnificent Don Morocco, with his black shirt that says the Magnificent Don, or excuse me, Magnificent Morocco, from Sunset, Hawaii. And here's one that you'll probably see on my online on my website. I'm sorry, people. I'm having a bad night on that. Having mind farts. The Japanese Hulk Hogan he's even got his black tights even got the Japanese writing on it that he had to say Hulk Hogan. Got the robe. I put the world title on him from Wrestling Superstore. Well, that's one of my favorites right here. Hulk Hogan. I always loved this figure because it was just unusual out of all the other Hulk Hogan figures. And anyway, that was going to be the wrap of it. Y'all keep your eyes out on I'm going to be at the BLW show this coming up on October 10th. And I'm going to be at that show in Brookhaven. Hopefully, I'll get some more fans out there, So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And be sure to keep an eye out on Ultimo Gallo's videos. Always good stuff. Y'all have a great night. Look out for some more videos. Thank y'all for watching.